In today's video, we will find out if he can beat a boat across a lake. So first of all, we will have the boat run, which as you can see is quite straightforward. We'll just go from this point of the lake to the other far side, crossing that little bridge, going into that like river area. It is very straightforward. We just go straight here and then we just go. But also the boat we picked is also a very straightforward choice. So it's the fastest boat, it's the Shih Tzu Longfin, which has a top speed much higher than even the second fastest boat. I think it's about 60 kilometers per hour. And yeah, it's just the obvious choice here. The other ones wouldn't even have that much of a race with the vehicles we're going to be using. And as you can see now, we will be approaching the bridge very shortly now. And we will end with a time of about 55 seconds, I believe. Yeah, you can see it right here, about 55 seconds. And we are finished. So my first idea to beat it is actually just a car. So what do we get? We get the fastest car, so which is the Banshee GTS. As you can see on the GPS, it actually sends me to the right, but that road actually is quite twisty, and also more importantly it's dirt. With a car like this with a huge traction loss multiplier, it's gonna be really slow. So I decided to go for the route here, which after a little bit becomes the faster route, using its top speed just on a straight road, which is quite easy, quite straightforward, just like the boat run. You just floor it and you take a couple of turns. The big thing about the car run is not this section. This section you just go as fast as possible. You're actually faster than the boat. But it's a lot longer because of the first section where you just have to go left first, and then this end section where you have to go right first, where you also have some turns. This actually slows you down a lot compared to the boat, because the boat actually keeps a speed of between like 170 and like 220 actually, depending on the ways and stuff. But this car goes 221, 224 like on the straight part. But on these parts, obviously, if there's a corner, like it's gonna slow down to like 170 or something. Also, you saw I made a bit of a mistake. I went a bit wide in that corner, like going into the dirt a bit. But it didn't really matter, because at that point I was already past 55 seconds. And as you can see, we'll finish here at 123, maybe 122, 121 if I did like corners better. But still way far off from the boat run. So next up I decided, okay, maybe that route was too long. So let's go for the shorter route, the route the GPS originally showed us, which is the off-road route. Of course, the first part is asphalt, which is nice, and trying to maximize everything here, a little curb boost, But then we hit the dirt, which makes it a little bit slower, and also the bumps definitely don't help with handling. And also, most importantly, which is what really holds back this route, is all the turns. As you can see here, I have to take some turns, and actually I had to do this quite a lot of times. So the Banshee run you just saw, 2 attempts. Like first attempt I did like a little mistake, I hit something, I was like, okay, let's do a clean run, and then I did the second one. Works out fine. It's not difficult. This one on the other hand, quite difficult. The bumps will send you flying quite a lot of times and make you a lot slower. Like some runs I just stopped because I just took a corner like way too bad. It just drifted way too much. Also you have this thing, so if you're in story mode, it's gonna slow you down a lot. In the online you don't get this, so it's fine. That's why I also accounted for it in the time. I slowed down the time the same amount. But yeah, as you can see already, it's way past 55 seconds once again, and we still have to go quite a way. Although this one is quite fun, because you can just rally a bit, which is always good fun. But yeah, as you can see, it's also a little bit slower than the Banshee run actually. It's slower and a bit harder. Even if you optimize it, you could optimize the Banshee run as well, so that's probably still faster. So next up I decided, why not rockets, right? So I decided to go with this rocket car. This run could have been maybe a little bit faster, but I decided to just do a clean run because I did a lot of attempts. I spent like way too much time on it, especially for a car that in the end, like a little spoiler, is not going to beat the boat. Another vehicle will, however. Because like on the first turn you make, I tried to jump it. It worked like a couple times, but the problem was that I also wanted to do another jump. And they both were too inconsistent to make it like worth my time. in the end. So, you know, that jump, and then I tried one jump here, like if you go right here and then jump over the water, which can potentially shave off a little bit of time. But like I said, you know, if I combine them all, maybe like 10 seconds, but 10 seconds is very ambitious. I think more like in the region of 5-ish seconds. But as you can see here already, if I subtract 5 seconds right now, I wouldn't even beat the boat. And I even do like this little jump right here. So yeah, even if I subtract 10 seconds, you know, you still have a 1/6 time, which is 11 seconds slower than the boat. So next up I decided, okay, rockets alone, not enough. So how about we give it wings, you know? So I gave this bike some Red Bull, and here we are. I took like quite an optimized route in the end, because I did this quite a lot. I crashed a lot with the bike, or I managed to like miss things, because like, you need to get your rocket boost. So for example, I hit it here, so I get the rocket boost, but I didn't do that all the time, so I hit that thing, for example. But you really have to optimize the rocket boost you hit, so you can definitely get some altitude and also use that to speed up a little bit. This run could have actually been even faster, because I didn't hit it correctly there, and I could have like one more rocket boost, which would have definitely helped. But also, once again, this one a little bit more inconsistent, unless you're really good with oppressor. To be fair, I hadn't used oppressor Mark 1 in like months or years even. So yeah, fair enough that I didn't perfect it, but even then I still beat it by like about 2 seconds. Then I decided, okay, wait a second, why not just go all out, right? So I decided to take the oppressor Mark 2, which is, yeah, it's obviously gonna beat it. It's quite OP. You just go basically the same route with the boat, even more direct, because you can just skip over these little piers. Actually, like this pier, I actually went through it with the boat on the first one, but it slowed me down a little bit. It was really cool, but like I still had to do a second one on the boat. But yeah, in the end, as you can see, we're approaching the bridge already, and we're in the 40 seconds. So yeah, it's way faster than the car, the boat I mean. As you can see, 47 seconds, it's way faster. But then I decided, I obviously had a mod menu because this was in story mode. So I was like, okay, I see this little option here under the section water. So what this option was magnetic water. And you might think, okay, what is that? As you might be able to tell, the water under your boat kind of gets attracted, like, you know, magnetic to the boat, which allows you to actually like lean back in the boat more. You know, like when your propellers get into it, into the water, you actually get a little bit more speed. And that's what I did here. And yeah, it does give you a little bit more speed, but you know, the waves still affect you a little bit. So in the end, it's a little bit faster, but still not beating the oppressor Mark 2. As you can see here, we approach it at like 40-ish seconds, and then we get there at 52 seconds, which beats the oppressor Mark 1 by about 1 second. But in the end, oppressor Mark 2 beats it by a lot. But in the end, the question, can you beat a boat across a lake? Yes, you can. Just not with a normal car or other vehicle. You need to have like a flying broomstick, which, you know, still makes the boat the more realistic, obvious choice. But yeah, you can beat it technically.